This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 787. Is that a jet? I ask that every time.
I don't think they've gotten that high with the jets yet.
No.
No, they definitely have. 787, yeah.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Brian Kilby. Diecast confirmed that there was a 787. Chris said that there probably wasn't. Don did not chime in about that.
Don has a Hank eating his feet, so
that
he's
is
a little preoccupied.
That is a cat. It's not a euphemism. Matt's also here.
Yes, I am.
And Rob.
Hello. Also, I don't think that would be a euphemism. That would just be a fetish.
Could be both.
No, if it was a fetish, that's a pretty direct reference to what's going on rather than a veiled statement.
Like a Hank eating me, sounds like,
someone named Hank or Henry, yes.
Yeah. Yes, okay. It's going to be one of those shows. Yep. Man. Okay. So it is July. That means what? San Diego Comic-Con is next month? Is that when it is?
Next week.
Next week?
Wait, it's next week?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Someone didn't read the show notes.
No, I didn't. It's always in August, is it not?
No, it's
always in July.
Yeah, it's usually right around my birthday.
Well,
every year.
crap. So there's going to be stuff this year at SDCC.
Reveals, yeah. We talk about some in the news.
Okay. Well,
and purchasing with QR codes.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Let's jump. Let me because I'm going to follow the show notes order. The last time I checked the hiss, it was at 16,700. I bet it's probably close to that right now.
Has it hit all the stretch goals yet?
Yes.
16,389 with 33 days left. The lightsaber did not succeed. It had 1,400, I think.
Is anyone really shocked by that? Honestly,
yeah. Well, I mean, sort of.
At this point, no.
And of course, that means that it's no longer on the HasLab page. Oh, actually, it is. It is. They actually do list the not funded, except for the Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster is the only one that was disappeared.
Yeah, that disappeared.
I mean,
how about they rerun it with Cookie Monster holding the lightsaber?
I don't think that will help.
Okay, SDCC is next week. So their product reveals, all sorts of stuff. There's this. Oh God, they sent me a press release.
Yeah, there's a press release.
Yeah. The press release said...
This might take a minute.
Yeah, okay. So it says, Hi, Brian. Today, Hasbro announced its new personalization platform with its first product introduction through Hasbro Selfie Series.
Oh, this thing. I forgot about that.
Launching fall 2022 exclusively on the Hasbro Pulse mobile app. The custom offering allows fans to create... This is the email to me. And to everybody, they just copy and paste names. That allows fans to create a collector-grade 6-inch action figure in their likeness based on classic to current characters seen across popular films, television series, and comics, but not toy lines, which is what these are. Hasbro Selfie Series figures will debut with fan-favorite character costume designs from G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, and Marvel, as well as designs inspired by Star Wars heroes. But people at SDCC will be able to preview this, which Diecast did this 10 years ago.
At Toy Fair?
At New York Comic Con or Toy Fair?
New York Comic Con.
So you have a Captain America with your face on it?
Yeah, but it's it's like a 12-inch figure.
So, I mean, I guess they have it down where they can do this at 6-inch. I mean, they've been able to do this for a while. I mean, Mattel does this, Hasbro does this with this realistic face scan. So I'm guessing it says it's through the app. So I'm assuming it's some form of LiDAR probably. But if your phone doesn't have LiDAR, I don't know how in the heck that would work. Maybe they'll just interpolate it from photos.
That's what I would think.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question, Brian, because I'm not familiar with the technology behind this. In the past, whenever you had a personalized figure, it was usually like the G.I. Joe, the helmeted one, and you just got a bio. That was as close as you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are they going to, if molding and such costs money, they're going to 3D print this perhaps, so that way it's not as expensive on a per item basis since you don't get the volume discounts of production? Is that how they're doing this?
I have no idea, Don. I don't know how it works.
They might just be paint printing the facial features onto one of a few basic form heads.
In that case, you probably don't need LiDAR because they're not
Right.
They don't worry about the depth and all of that stuff. It would just be like what you look like.
It's
I want
essentially what
someone
they.
with-
It's essentially what they do with Black Series at this point with the actor likenesses. They will have that sculpted to match as close as they can, but like the actual details of the features are a paint print.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can do like someone with like one eye or maybe like a big scar on one side of their face. I wonder how those would come out.
Let's find out. I mean, it depends on how much these things cost. Let's do Don and put a scar across his face.
Yeah,
After a
that'd be
massy
awesome.
One source I
Matthew-
saw was projecting the cost of this to be around $60.
We could do that for Don, like
Well,
for his
I mean,
wedding.
I don't think that's that bad when you consider
Not
a 6-inch
really.
figure. is
Considering they're like
$25
$25 or
anyway.
$30
The
already.
figure's already
Yeah.
$25. Yeah.
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 So
And I'm guessing the packaging would probably be pretty standard unless they just like put your
Who knows?
face in like on. I'm
it's
just
going to be standard.
Yeah.
Probably a
box.
brown select style
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Blade put something in the Discord from Form Labs, which appears to have something to do with this, and it does appear to be 3D printing.
nice. Okay. So looking at the photo or the video that he's showing or showed, it is much more intricately detailed than that. So, yeah, I'm not certain about the technology. Maybe it's LiDAR, maybe it's not, but it looks to be more than that when it comes to how the face or head is formed. So,
Mhm.
how is Babby formed?
and I'll form the head.
Yes. Is Diecast calling into an Art Bell rerun? Nice. Okay.
Diecast is live from 2003.
I mean, I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind having a Ghostbusters figure. That's the only thing
That's
they've
what
really
I
shown off.
That's what I would
Yeah,
want.
that would only. Four of us need to do that and make our own little Ghostbuster set. I'm
Yeah.
Egon. I'm calling Egon right now.
Yeah.
That
So
would be
so
expensive.
They've really missed an opportunity here to make some really creepy Titan Masters.
yeah.
Yes.
It might have been Ben Yi, but I saw somebody today suggest that they should do it for Transformers and have like the hard hat, construction workers from G1, like the Spike.
yeah.
Blade has a good idea. Blade has a good idea for this too. He just suggested in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. Join us live every Wednesday night.
I missed it. What did he say?
We need a Red Series Spike and exosuit for Transformers to get in on this, because then you could have you in an exosuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
would be good.
Yeah,
Or-
Diecast, you're always wanting questions to ask Hasbro. Jot that down.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. or we can put Don's head on Miko's body. I think he would really like
Actually, if they're doing the
I'm
6-inch
glad
figures,
I'm not the only one that was thinking that.
yeah, but like just put it on like a red figure base, and I could have like Galvatron with my head. That would be creepy.
that.
Sort of like from Build Fighters for Rob and Chris, where the end credits they would have the Yoris or their face on the Gundam. So it was very weird.
So,
They did that in G Gundam too in a couple of key scenes.
Remember,
also,
Don, everything in Build Fighters is a reference to something that came before.
I know I can't remember everything. I'm sorry.
no, it's impossible. So Proctor reveals planned, expecting Legacy, Shattered Glass, or Spark. There's going to be an Earth Spark panel to introduce cast members. I honestly don't care. I'm sure it'll be fun, but like that's just not my thing.
I'm curious, certainly, since Nick Roche is involved. But
I hate to say like I not that I've poo-pooed media, but I have mostly poo-pooed media.
Well, I mean, okay, everybody wasn't really expecting Cyberverse to be what it eventually became.
I didn't finish Cyberverse. I did finish
And-
BotBots, and I loved BotBots.
You
I know.
should get back around to Cyberverse.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah.
I
But
need
I'm
to
just-
finish Red 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to do that
I
too.
need to start Red 2015.
Yes.
Me too.
But I mean,
Yeah, same.
But if the track record, if shows like Rescue Bots that was pretty strong throughout its entire run, and you've got Cyberverse, which ended up being a lot of fans loving that show, there could be a lot of hidden and there's been so many shows that people wrote off early, like Princess of Power, that wound up having a lot of heart and a lot of depth to it. So
Yeah.
this Earthspark could be something along those lines.
Yeah, but Don, it's just the thing is, I watch so little TV. I have so little time for media
Mm.
that I can't consume while working, which is usually a podcast or an audiobook.
I know.
I prioritize everything way down, so I just don't have time to watch TV. I watch Star Trek when it's on, and that's basically it.
I have not even seen season 4 of Miraculous Ladybug. I
don't know what the F that is. I have never heard of that.
I'm just saying it's a series I like.
He's mentioned it before.
I didn't have a chance to even watch the entire 4th season.
I'm surprised it's only up to the 4th season, because I could swear the whole time Don has been a regular on the show, he's been talking about Miraculous Ladybug.
I think I've heard him mention it. I was thinking like the Miraculous Miss Marigold or something. I thought that, or Maisel. I thought that was his thing.
No, Christy watches that.
But yeah, Don, you watch way more TV than I do. Everybody watches more TV than I do. I went from being the person in high school who watched 100 hours of TV a week, literally, to somebody who just doesn't care about TV.
I mean, at this point, I don't watch that much TV. I don't even have like over the air hooked up. I watch what I watch on streaming, and basically, I just watch stuff at mealtime, and the rest of the time, I can't be bothered to like focus. I don't have the attention span anymore to barely even watch an hour-long show. That's my problem.
I'll get in like a movie a week. I'll watch some form of a movie because I love cinema, but I don't watch TV.
I mean,
I've started watching more things with the arm messing up because it's hard to sit and play video games with that. But Devilman Crybaby turned out to be really good on Netflix, but definitely not safe for work or children or anything remotely like this.
Well, another thing I want to mention about
delicate sensibilities. Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention about SDCC next week. So they're going to be exclusives. The thing that pisses me off is Dr. Mindbender is an SDCC exclusive. And
that stinks.
Yeah. So the exclusives are going to be different this year than previous SDCCs. Hasbro is not going to have any inventory on hand at the event. How this is going to work, if you're at SDCC and you want to buy one of the exclusives, you go to the Hasbro booth. They will give you a one-time use code that will let you place a pre-order. And then after SDCC, they will open, at some point after SDCC, they will open up the exclusives to general purchase.
If
there's anything left.
If there's anything left.
So the way the message was phrased, it seemed to be like, legal obligation to say while supplies last. But in the same breath, basically, like the example of the Dr. Mindbender, they're making 3 times as many of that as the Zartan last year. So I think they are still, focusing on having a large quantity of exclusives available to have as many people be able to get access to these as possible. I don't think it's going to be like the old days again. Either way,
hopefully they will limit the amount people can buy at the show.
Yeah. If I was reading the message correctly, it is a limit of 1 per person.
Good.
So actually, what they're going to do, you can get Dr. Mindbender there, but on Hasbro Pulse, you'll have to get Dr. Mindbender V2. That was a crappy, completely different look for Dr. Mindbender. I'll shut up.
Now, is the delivery date for these figures far enough out? This could be a made-to-order situation, or is it too?
We don't know when the delivery date's going to be. So, what the theory we're working on right now is that we talked about this a little bit in the past few weeks. Hasbro's decision to be at SDCC probably came late enough that they were already planning for the PulseCon style fulfillment where the stuff would come around like September. So probably the stuff is still going to be in that general time frame. Whether that means that they've got time to tell the factory to make X number or not, probably not at this point.
Probably not.
I would think they would need at least a few extra months to be able to work something like that. Like I would say a minimum of 6 months to be able to place and have an order finished.
Don, you have something on your shoulder.
Yeah, but it's minding its own business at the moment, so we should probably just let sleeping cats lie, basically.
Well, it's not something that I want them to go to all the time, but if it makes it easier to order something on a made to order format, I'd be willing to wait an extra month or 2 or whatever the case is if it's something that I'm really looking forward to getting, versus trying to do like in the old days with Matty Collector and Digital River and all that, trying to fight to get something ordered and then not even sure if once it goes through. I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, would it be better slowly moving to that where you've got something because you have a longer window if you don't mind waiting a bit to get it?
I think as an
I just
aside,
hate
our
convention exclusives.
I think as an aside, our podcast listeners should go check out this episode on YouTube and watch Don's small cat playing on his shoulder the whole time he's talking, because it's one of the most wholesome cat moments Don has had in his whole history on the show, because he's not drawing blood.
If you hear a light jingling over the audio, that's Hank. That's Hank's collar.
Yep.
Because he's too small for an air tag yet, and believe me, we will air tag him as soon as we
but
can.
I think like
Otherwise.
I agree in principle that like it'd be good to be able to have these exclusives made to the actual number of orders there are for them, so everybody who wants one within reason can get at least one. The problem is, like, I don't think in general people are going to be that excited to wait 6 to 8 months to have the exclusives they ordered at SDCC be delivered.
And
to
I hate
them.
to say it, as much as we don't.
I imagine we'd need a lead time similar to what we have with HasLab Star Saber to make that work. So
I want to move on, because I do want to point out that I don't think that we're thinking through like the whole thing, the whole nut here. So they're exclusives for a reason. I mean, a convention exclusive, the people who buy it have some expectation that you get some benefit of going to the convention.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody can get it, it kind of takes away the exclusivity. It just makes it, like a time-bound deal. And I don't like the idea of exclusives, but if I went to the convention, I would probably be pretty pissed off if anybody could just
Sort of like what
if they were marketed as SDCC exclusives specifically, which I don't think these will be.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of like the Cobra Commander that's coming with the his tank isn't quite the regular Cobra Commander that I wanted, so
It's the Mickey Mouse misprint one.
Yeah, it's basically the old Brian Savage BotCon argument that I only half agree with, but like
right.
But I don't disagree
when we couldn't buy the BotCon exclusives at BotCon because they were saving the BotCon exclusives for a different convention.
Yeah, not that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
2016, what a year.
So there are two small leaks. Go to tfradio.net to just check them out. It's selects DK-3 and Studio Series 86 Wheelie.
Yeah, they're small leaks because they're tiny little pictures.
Yep.
The DK-3 is like the tiniest picture, and it's blurry as hell. But I mean, we know what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
The Wheelie, though, it just feels unnecessary.
I do not mind it because I never got the Legends version of Titan's Return Wheelie.
Yeah,
Titan's Return Wheelie looks good, but does have some structural problems, and the paint probably could have been better to represent the character as seen in the movie. So I'm fine that they're taking another pass at this. Honestly, it's been a few years.
Yeah, Titan's Return Wheelie did not hold together in vehicle mode at all.
Yeah.
Like nothing. But I'm waiting for better pictures of this one before I pass judgment, because like the arms don't look great to me.
Nope.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'll wait for better pictures, preferably with an alt mode, before I pass judgment.
For whatever reason, Wheelie is one of those characters or toys that holds this weird spot in my brain that when I see a new version of it, it scratches like a soft spot in my brain that like makes me happy. I think because I had him as a kid, like during an especially rough time, and it just something I draw comfort from it, but I don't draw comfort from this one. This one, I'm like, what the hell? Why do we need this?
I mean, if nothing else, we can say this Wheelie, the Studio Series Wheelie, will be better than the previous Studio Series 86 Wheelie.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, it's. I'm just wondering. Will there be any DNA from the first Wheelie, or even the Wheelie that came with Grimlock?
Maybe the same colors.
No,
it might have the same, like, similar colors to the one that came with Grimlock. Like as far as like the paint matching, maybe
it could maybe come with the same little removable slingshot piece.
Yeah, possibly. I think it looks good in box. I don't think it looks great when taken out and posed.
It does have a slingshot with it.
Yeah. And this also is not the DNA Design unofficial upgrade kit Wheelie.
Oh yeah, that's
so
mercifully
there's a couple of upsides to this, but yeah, like right now I can't see that I feel the need to replace my Legends series Wheelie, and I don't remember having the structural problems with the vehicle
Me
mode like
neither.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember
I-
that.
I've got the Takara
I
version
do.
and the Hasbro version. Both are fine.
Yeah, same.
Now I want to see Wheelie come with a little slingshot that's made to look like Slingshot the aerial bot
No,
that he can hold.
it'd be gold and it would break.
Well, I mean, if you've got Titan's Return broadside, Don, you can kind of fake it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. I'm glad you pulled that one right out, and that's totally true. Okay, so let's see here. Anything else? Okay, so we talked Wheelie to death, though. DK-3.
It's Blue
Yeah, it's,
Trailbreaker.
Yeah,
Blue
Diaclone Blue
Trailbreaker,
Trailbreaker. With cartoon Trailbreaker head, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Still, give it to me now.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, someone will make a different head that you can put on it. Probably. Maybe.
You know, well, there
Well,
may
I mean,
be.
Burnout's going to have the wrong head too, so we
Yeah.
we shall make do with what we get.
There may be another Centurion drone set down the road where
Yeah.
the bag of parts is some extra heads to swap out.
I
Well,
do
some-
wish they do that more often. I really like
Yeah,
that.
someone in our Discord was suggesting that as a possibility too. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one of you it was. That this is what's being shown on the photos, but maybe it will come with a second head. Like I'd be satisfied enough if they just would put the hoist head on it because that at least looks,
Closer, yeah.
generic-ish. Yeah, it's closer to what it should be.
It has the visor,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the specific likeness of one character. Exactly.
Another thing revealed today, and this came from In-Demand Toys. Shattered Glass Flame War. Am I the only
Shattered Glass Flame War, who doesn't actually exist in Shattered Glass until
Alright.
today.
Yeah, I know. But am I the
Yeah.
only person who absolutely loves this?
I
It
mean,
looks
I'll
great.
get it.
I think that's going to be the only way I decide to own that RC mold. So yeah, I think I'm going to get that.
I don't think it's an improvement over the Flame War that I already have, so I'm going to skip it.
I
I,
mean,
do
if I
not
could,
already
if
have
I could,
that, so that's a plus in my column.
if I could
so.
get the BotCon 2014 Flame War for the same price this will cost, I would go with that one instead.
Is that the
Mhm.
is that the last version of Flame War? Which other
I
than
mean,
the
that's-
original Flame War?
Yeah, the original
There's-
Flame War was a 2005 toy, and then did not get revisited again until the Pirates versus Knights set, which was I think that was that year, and then
There was
Cybertron
a-
Most Wanted was the next year.
There was a mass market Legion class version of Flame War that turned up at Five Below a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember where that fell in the overall chronology, but I remember that happened.
Prime Cyberverse.
Yeah, so that probably would be a little bit older. So that BotCon one probably was the last one until now.
Okay.
And besides, if you want a red motorcycle and you don't want to get the Shattered Glass version for some reason, if you want to, you can get Road Rocket. So I mean, you don't have another red motorcycle you can default to. If you can find it.
This looks better. I like this. I think they did a really nice job.
I think
with
she
it.
looks great.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think she looks awesome.
and
I will
he was also
definitely
very
get it.
pleased to see this.
Of course he
today since-
was.
Yeah, he created
yeah.
Flame War in the first place.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I wish I could create a character and get toys made out of it every,
Yeah.
I mean, he
7 or
so
8
Shattered
years.
Glass and Flame War. So
Yeah,
it's a
I
twofer.
really hope they would. I really hope they probably won't, but it'd be nice for him to get a credit on her box, just like character created by Benson or something. Just a little, something like that.
All you got to do is sue. That's just sue and wait 10 years and you can get it.
Or wait until you die and then your heirs will negotiate for it. That's popular.
Yeah, I mean that certainly saves you a lot of trouble then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Buzzworthy Bumblebee, toys hitting US, the 4-pack, the Naked Dinobot,
Toy
the
colors.
color-
It's toy colors. And it's not naked, it's raw chicken.
raw chicken
Yeah,
Dinobot.
Plucked chicken.
Plucked
Plucked
chicken.
chicken.
I mean, okay, I guess
It's a
for
chicken,
certain
I
value
tell
of
you. A
naked.
plucked chicken.
Pterosaur. So yeah, I need to start. Kim asked me. She went to Target last night. It's like, do you need anything from Target? And I'm like, no. And then I called her back. Are you still at Target? I forgot. She's like, no, I've already left.
Well, I went to my Target today after work, and it is so messy. They got so much stuff on clearance, and
They're all
none
like
of
that.
it. None of it is anything. You can't find anything. The only thing that's not clearance is all them Star Screams. That's still sitting there.
Yeah.
For coordination.
No, I haven't seen any Star Screams on the shelf.
You posted on Twitter today. If you see one more, you'll scream.
Yeah,
But not Star
yeah.
Scream. You'll just scream.
And the sad thing is, not everyone, but people are finding sludge. And like I mentioned on Twitter, Brian, you were right. It's just a matter of bad engineering designs because everyone is finding some mostly that are just not good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe eventually they'll fix it. Maybe they won't. If you put it in Dino mode, it's fine.
It's Star Screams and Galvatrons galore.
Yeah, and we for years we wanted a Galvatron that was good, and now you can't shake a stick without hitting one.
Because we've gotten it 4 times.
Yeah,
At least this year's version has the clean deco that we were complaining about not getting last year.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, are you just a side question? Are you going to get the foot upgrade that you can change, that you can move that puts the feet up under the body?
Let me refer to something I said explicitly last week. I don't buy upgrades.
I don't remember you saying that last week.
I said it very recently. If it wasn't last week, it was the week before. I don't buy upgrades. I bought like for Galvatron the first one was it C? No, what was it? Kingdom. I bought like the whole peg thing filler, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Oh yeah, that.
I don't care enough to do it.
I mean, some upgrades are pretty cool, but like little things like hubcap add-ons to fill in the mushroom pegs on the wheels. Like I don't need to go that small detail with it, but like some of the stuff does material changes which are good and interesting.
When a toy lives in a bin in a room that never sees the light of day, I don't need to upgrade it.
You make a good point.
I have the same issue coupled with I just sometimes feel weird, modifying something from its original state when I doubt I'm ever going to see another one personally.
Yeah.
So I bought the non-F upgrade kits for the Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet figures, and I may just put those on Diaclone Ironhide when that gets here tomorrow.
Yeah, I have that Power of the Primes Inferno that I bought, the second one, for the purposes of making it Fire Chief. And finally, I've got the stickers. I'm finally going to open it and apply them here in the next few weeks. So, I do the same thing. If I'm going to modify it, and if it's like, either irreversible or it's going to be a pain in the butt, I'll just buy a second one or not do it. Okay, what else? Walmart Collectors Con starts July 21st. That's next week.
It coincides with what's usually preview night for SDCC.
Yeah, so Velocitron Deluxes are expected in store this month. I didn't realize that actually.
I don't think we realized that until a few days ago when Hyper Shouta in our Discord was telling us this stuff's coming earlier than we thought it was going to.
All Deluxes, so like including Cosmos, or like the ones
as far as I understand, they should all be in one assortment together in Cosmos' short pack.
Oh God,
I wonder if they're going to ship in a PDQ.
I don't know. Don,
I hope not.
Don, so we know what that is, but explain that to what people for people who don't remember.
A PDQ is a pre-made display from a manufacturer sold to a retail establishment that you basically, everything is already in there in predetermined slots. It's just wrapped up and covered. So when you pull off the outer cardboard shell, you price it and you drop it where you want to display it and you go.
The last one I saw, remember at Walmart, was Netflix Wave 1. So that's the last one that I remember seeing.
Right. Yeah. I'm just wondering if, with it being this many toys, if they wouldn't go for a big presentation.
Probably not, because they haven't done it recently. And the problem I have with PDQs at Walmart is not every store gets them. So that's why I'm really against the PDQs at Walmart.
I am too. It's just
the last time I was at my store, they also had like a conspicuously empty row in the Transformers section.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about being able to find this stuff because the average person is not going to know where these go without specific tags. And unless a reset is done, those tags won't
They just
be
live in
there.
the back of the store for the next 15 years.
Exactly. Like,
so
like 2007 Ramjet and Dirge did for the movie. My store had them
Mm.
for 4 months before they actually went out because I talked to the toy manager. She said, "Oh, they've been back there about 4 or 5 months. I just didn't know where to put them."
Great. Apparently Walmart is getting a reset in toys, coinciding with I think the week of the 25th.
Cool.
So that would kind of all
gotta
line
clear
up.
out that Jurassic Park merchandise.
my local Walmart, the one I'm most local to, is a mess in the sense that they have way too much product. The other Walmart doesn't have enough product, so it's kind of funny. So if they married and shared their stuff,
What I'm looking at locally here is a ton of the Beast Wars Legacy stuff. Those exclusives still hanging around.
yeah, mine.
So that seems like it's going to be a problem.
retro Beast Wars.
Hypershouta says for their store, it is just a single case of Velocitron so far coming this month. So that would kind of rule out the PDQ thing.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's just, I mean, between all the Lightyear stuff and all the Jurassic Park stuff, there's just so much stuff
The
that
Batman.
that it's going to take forever for them to get it done and then put the stuff on the shelf.
And forever's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's it matter? If I order Wave 1 through Walmart.com, they're not going to send it to me. So I might as well.
Yeah, I mean you make a valid point there, at least in your case.
Might as well
Walmart-
just wait for the store.
Yeah, Walmart hates you specifically from all indications.
Walmart hates you specifically. Show title.
Ever since they sent me that free Xbox, they don't like me.
You're going to be paying for that for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
Okay. Let's see here. One last thing. What is this? I'm reading
The
this.
wonderful
sexy-
world of Vaporware Amazon product listings.
Oh,
That's
So-
always a fun time.
Yeah, so we had a couple interesting things come up. The second item here I'm only bringing up just because this is a kind of topic, but for Amazon Prime Day, it looked like the Amazon Prime Optimus Prime was going to finally turn up. Listings seem to get refreshed on various Amazon sites around the world, and hey, look, Amazon Prime Day is basically over with, and it still hasn't become available.
Boo.
that is the most disappointing thing about Prime Day. I mean, I haven't bought anything, but I
bought a
would have
TV I
bought
didn't
that.
need. I bought a TV that I didn't need. It's going to go in the closet. That's what Prime Day is. That and clearance crap.
Yeah, I mean, electronics like that, it's good if you can get one on a deal and you have space to store it. Just have it around for when
$50.
you do need it.
Yeah, $50.
Ooh,
Dang, nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so far Amazon Prime Optimus Prime has once again not materialized. We'll see if that's just something that's going to come running late. We kind of said the same thing last year, and then
It never happened.
July became August and September and then November, and then it was 2022 and it still wasn't there. And maybe this is just something that's like automatically programmed into their system. Every time it's about to be Prime Day, they just like pop that listing back up because it thinks it should be there and it's just not going to be.
Yeah.
So we'll see next July if this comes up again.
It's torture.
The follow-up the follow-up to this, last week, just after the show wrapped up, everybody started reporting on a legacy leader class dark mount listing
Oh wow.
that was turning up on international Amazon websites. The thing about that is that toy doesn't exist. If you took the same Amazon product code and plug it into the main US Amazon website, it turns into the Dragon Megatron listing. So according to JT Prime, what this is, Legacy Dark Mount was apparently an early pitch for Legacy that got shelved or just dropped in favor of doing the Megatron. But like for a good 24 hours, everybody was reporting on that like it was a newly discovered thing, when unfortunately, no, it was just old, outdated information.
I'd
that
love a new
once again
Straxus.
kind of swam up to the surface.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's been like 13 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's still a good figure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Could use a bigger one though, I think is the point.
Yeah.
Given
Yep.
that was a large deluxe for the time, even a leader by the current standards might only be slightly bigger though.
I mean, it was a chunky deluxe, but like height wise, it wasn't like, super big.
Yeah.
Fair.
Probably if this Dark Mount had materialized, I would imagine it would have been probably a Galvatron retool.
I buy it.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
you can make that work. It wouldn't be ideal, but you could make that work.
A third party's already done it. I know that's
Right.
what Don's wanting to point at, and
No,
I
no.
would buy it.
No, I'm going to say, Chris, when Galvatron first came out, I asked you and Rob specifically, could they make that into a Straxus? Because
And we probably said probably.
yeah, you did. You said it would take some retooling,
Yeah.
but they also build in retooling for future use into
Right.
these now.
Yeah, and if that was the plan at one point and that tooling is sitting there, like this could pop back up. It could materialize at any point down the road where that toy is still viable at its price point.
Make a great Generation Selects release.
Yeah,
with
actually.
with
Or it
Galvatron,
could
they
show up
probably
as a
just
store exclusive somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
Diecast.
With Galvatron, they probably just said, "Hey, we can repaint this 6 times. We can do it. We can do a damaged. We can do a toy.
Yeah,
then
I mean,
we'll
I
do a
could
non-damaged."
I could certainly envision like they put the Straxus Dark Mount stuff on the tooling as an option to run that engineering a second time, but then they figured out all these ways they could just re-release Galvatron as is and get their investment back on the mold, and then suddenly Straxus become a lower priority and they instead slot a new mold leader into what would have been that retool spot. But if the
Yeah.
tooling exists, we could see it one day.
Like G-Axis, I mean,
How was it did you live?
What else? What else are they going to do with him? So
Sorry, I can't not.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Hey, Chris, what'd you get this week?
Yes. Well, so I got 3 things since last show, and I'm going to go in the order that I opened them since I did it over the stretch of multiple days in order to, get the most out of each one. Because if you just open a bunch of stuff all at once, like it kind of just washes over you and you don't really enjoy any of them. So Friday night, after I just finished watching the season finale of Strange New Worlds, which was awesome.
It was awesome.
Amazing.
So I finished watching that and having dinner, and since I'd been delaying it since the previous afternoon, I figured I should just get it over with an open sludge.
Okay.
I decided to start with sludge because by all conversations I'd observed here and elsewhere, I was expecting it to be the biggest disappointment out of everything. So I got to slowly unpacking it, and as I untied the legs from the backing, I decided to, have an initial feel of the joints. And was that a ratchet click from the knee?
What?
I thought I heard someone say the knees didn't have any ratcheting.
Jealous.
So I started going a little faster, untying the rest of it, and set sludge down on its own 2 feet, and it stood solidly with no posing tricks or outside support. I could pose the legs different ways. I could even push backward and forward on the upper body, and the legs didn't give out from under it.
Was it
Wow.
like pre-furniture polished?
The wings and their soft plastic connecting parts, they held together firmly. As yet, I've had no flopping around or the wings coming off at all time.
Wow.
Somehow I've ended up with a perfectly okay sludge. It's a completely unremarkable specimen for just like it's remarkable for being unremarkable. And I was absolutely delighted with this fact. It's been the feeling of the most mundane euphoria.
You are not the only person I've heard of that's gotten like a good example, but there are only like 3 of you that I've heard.
So do I need to keep returning it until I get a good one?
Possibly.
no,
It sounds like winning the lottery, unfortunately.
Sludge was
I
my
heard-
first Transformer. I should be the one to get a decent one.
I mean, I agree, but I'm not giving you mine.
I heard with the knees where it's supposed to be a soft ratchet and yours just goes like this.
Yeah.
That if you open it up and put a Q-tip in there and break the head of the Q-tip off,
No.
I saw that.
it'll make that ratchet work.
I could just.
It may not make the ratchet work, but it will tighten up the space in there where the teeth will catch a little bit better. It will add
Right.
friction to it in a way that's not floor polish. But mine actually has working ratchet, so I think we were talking about this last week, whether it was a QC problem or just an engineering defect, and I think it is a QC problem. Like, some of them are getting assembled correctly in those knee joints, but most of them are not. And
So-
those detents are
Or
not.
there was
catching.
just a bad batch that was run.
So the missing
Mm.
component is the end of a Q-tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to go with it, apparently. I also suspect it may just be like the earliest batches of sludge did not get their knee joints assembled correctly. And if you can catch it later on, if you can catch later instances of it,
He's in here somewhere.
Don,
Who is
you're-
Don? Who is Don? Who's in here?
Hank.
Don, I won't be over for another like 20 minutes.
Okay, so anyway, I did eventually have to transform sludge, and that involved a lot of like angles and reversing things, and a mostly exploded dinosaur at one or
Yeah.
2 points. That wasn't really a great process to go through, even though I like in concept how so much of the dinosaur collapses into the robot legs, and you get like a really thorough color shift from one mode to the other. Like, that's really cool. It's just not fun to do.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of conflicted on that. But yeah, all signs are I've had one of the best possible sludge experiences one can hope for. But even so, sludge comes in at third place out of 3 Dinobots for me.
Are any of the 3 Dinobots that have been released so far fun to transform? Slag sure isn't.
Grimlock
Grimlock's
is
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't
I
remember.
was fine with Slag and Grimlock.
I transformed Slag last week just so that I could have them both in Dino mode. I don't know where Grimlock is, and I don't remember how Grimlock was, but I remember that I just clearly remember from last week that Slag wasn't that great.
I mean, Grimlock is better than Slag. Slag is better than Sludge in terms of how the
Okay.
transformation goes.
Or Swoop.
Slag's not the greatest thing around, but like Grimlock's very straightforward, and Slag's not that bad. You just kind of have to be used to
Is
it.
Snarl or Swoop next, or do we know?
Snarl.
Okay, poor
The
Snarl.
best Dinobot.
Swoop will be the last one, which means it'll either be like the worst one in terms of transformation, or like the best one because it'll be the simplest one by that point. Because I do feel like Sludge in a lot of ways is simpler than Slag and Grimlock. The transformation has more weird bits to it, but like just the toy in either finished mode feels more simple, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
So the next one I opened up was G-Axis, which I had concerns over since it seemed unlikely it could live up to all that hype. But oh, did it live up to the hype?
It's a really good figure.
It is.
Like, it floors me this thing exists. The robot mode gets to look really spot on to G2 comic art, which is just like insane by itself. But I think in a way it's because this was designed the same way as the original character model for G-Axis. Design a robot and don't worry about how it's going to transform. Just make a cool looking robot.
Have you put him in Starscream's throne yet?
Yeah, I mean, it basically works. I also got to work in my Universe 2008 drop shot chair mode. Like, it'll fit in that too.
He's all leg.
There's seating options. Yeah, like it's very evident to me that most of the attention went to the robot mode of this. They wanted to get that part right and then figure out how to make it a vehicle afterward. So the robot's very clean, very little vehicle kibble, almost no visible gaps in the toy. And where the gaps could have been, they cleverly came up with a way to cover them. One thing that relieved me getting this in hand was that the white plastic is much more opaque looking in person than the photos had been making it seem. Like, I thought it was going to be another Siege Ape face with that milky white plastic, and it is not. It's very far from that. Certainly not as good as it was just like, completely painted in white, but like, that's unrealistic. One thing I appreciate in a very G2 sense is the yellow on this, where virtually all of it is this particular like highlighter yellow shade. It has the benefit of making the paint match the plastic in the hands very closely, but it also gives, and this is going to sound ridiculous as a phrase, but it gives it a subtle kind of eye searing quality. You know it's bright and kind of hurts to look at, but you don't immediately know why. The face sculpt is fantastic, and of course, the most important little details present, a G2 Decepticon symbol, which would have been so easy to get wrong and has happened before, G2 Bruticus, I'm looking at you. So I'm really pleased to see that they got that little thing right. The transformation and vehicle mode are nothing remarkable. I think the most remarkable thing with the transformation is the tail fin goes on the sides of the lower legs. It splits in half lengthwise, going from vehicle mode to robot mode, and fills in those gaps on the legs, which I think is a really cool little idea. Makes that piece feel a little bit fragile, so you want to be careful with that. But like it's a cool little engineering trick to just make the robot that much more clean. The vehicle mode keeps the rough shape of what was shown in the comics, and the transformation to get there is otherwise pretty simple. It would be completely fine if not for that it has the robot arms left to simply hang underneath the body, and they don't fit in anywhere. Kind of like they ran out of space to hide them and then quit for the day and never went back to it. It's like the one bad quality of the whole toy, in my opinion. But like for the robot mode, it hits everything. Great look, great detailing, really excellent articulation, including jointed fingers that the toy doesn't need for anything. They're just completely superfluous.
Well, I mean, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
It's fine, Don.
I was going to say that someone had mentioned that they were good for holding the Matrix, but it was Thunderwing that held the Matrix in the comic.
Right.
But that's what one of the rumors going around is that's who they can use this for is Thunderwing.
I could see them getting Thunderwing's inner robot out of this. I don't know if they would go that direction necessarily.
Yeah, but that would explain why it would have those kind of hands if they're Matrix holding hands.
But yeah, G-Axis is great. The robot mode's fantastic. The only thing I really want to add to it in realistic terms would be like a light ink wash on the face and the shins to pop the details there a little bit.
That'd be nice.
And Hey Mickey kind of went in that direction with his copy of it. And like there's so much detail that you can bring out on the face with a little bit of a ink wash.
Chris, did you know about the moving the sensor?
Yeah, the little shoulder thing comes off on a 5mm peg and can plug into the back of the rifle. I was kind of hoping that the peg was, when I heard about this from, I think, Manny Kara in our Discord, I was hoping the peg was on the opposite side so you could actually plug the rifle into the shoulder, but it doesn't quite work.
Mm.
But yeah, like I really could not be happier with G-Axis. It blew away every expectation I had. The last thing I got was Junk Heap, and I don't really have a lot to say about this one. Nothing could really compare to G-Axis, honestly. Maybe I should have opened Junk Heap first, but there's plenty of different parts from Wreck-Gar, so they're more differentiated than any of the old deluxe Junkions were. So I appreciate that. The joint tolerances on my copy are better than I have with Wreck-Gar, but that's just an individual variation thing. Getting the motorcycle mode to come together felt a little more difficult than it was with Wreck-Gar, which could be a matter of the new chest panel or the alternate head, or maybe just the joints feeling a little bit different. It gets there in the end. It just doesn't feel quite the same as transforming Wreck-Gar. The new parts change the bike's silhouette just enough to give it, its own distinction. But honestly, I'd kind of like to see this retool in like flashier colors. The gray and brown's probably accurate to the specific Junkion they're going for, but I think like a red and gold version would look really good. Just something a little bit more garish and eye-catching. Not G2 per se, but in this spirit.
Runner-up show title, garish and eye-catching.
Mainly what I noticed this time around with the feeling of reduced enthusiasm versus handling Wreck-Gar the first time. It's a solid mold, but I'm feeling like there might not be enough substance to it to really support having many multiples. So if they were to revisit this again, I can't say right now whether I'd actually come back for a third pass at it.
The one thing I wanted to mention about it is I felt uncomfortable with the spikes on his arms and legs because it really seems like that will poke some kid's eye out.
They are less
semi-rigid.
soft than they're less soft than I would expect a part like that to be.
I accidentally bent the one on his left leg. I don't know how. He was just laying down. So I guess his own weight did it when it was laying long enough. But like it is rigid enough to where if it hit you in the eye, you couldn't see out of that eye anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we need some like little tiny tennis balls to stick on the ends of the spikes.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's it for me.
I'm gonna go next. I got two of those things, Jaxus and Junkie. The other thing I got is last week. I guess I've been on a roll when it came to the 85 Happy Meal toys. But a seller on eBay had a 2-pack, a twofer, both bronze, a green and red sample version, and a blue and yellow. And I needed the blue and yellow for my collection. So puts me one closer to having a complete set. So happy with that. And that's what I got this week. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So I'm in Ohio. Basically, anytime I get a little bit of free time at night, I go into a local Target or Walmart because at least, if nothing else, it's good to walk around. So it's kind of like a healthy thing.
Yeah. Find an abandoned mall. That's even better.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's been Coronation Starscreams and Galvatrons galore. The Walmart I just went in right before the show, because every night I'm at a different hotel. It's not even like I'm at the same hotel for multiple nights. I walked in, and of course it was Coronation Starscream and Galvatron. And I got a work message. So I'm in the toy aisle responding to a work message. And I don't know if any of you ever do this when you're looking at your phone and for like a minute. Then when I looked back up, I kind of looked up and around, and on the very top shelf, pushed all the way back, I saw a Transformers box. And then I realized that it was Blitzwing. So
Awesome.
It's something I said I wasn't going to get. But when you've been into how many Targets and Walmarts that I've been in the last week and not seen anything, I was like, I'll just get it. And I haven't transformed it yet because I just got it right before the show, but I did pull it out of the box and just mess around with the tank.
It's packed in tank mode?
The tank mode, yeah. Tank mode's okay. I still don't feel like it's a leader class toy, and these stupid hand rocket things, whatever they are, don't really, to me, put it in that leader class category. So I mean, with tax, because it was $54 and tax here is 7.5%, it was almost $60 for this, and I'm like, it just doesn't feel like a $60 toy to me. I would have been happy if it was like $40. The other thing that kind of bothers me is, and I've been trying to straighten out the sword, but this is soft rubber, and they put it in the packaging in a way that it warps it, before you even take it out. And I just think, like, if they're going to do soft plastic like this, they should at least package it in a way where it's not going to be all distorted when you take it out of the box. But that's all I got. I mean, other than G-Axis, which I actually had time to play with, I think XV is right. Chris is right that the arms are a little, at first you're like, wow, but I think it's okay because it's not like Starscream that's trying to be an F-15 jet or whatever he is, to where it's really off-putting, because it's kind of got that weird kind of Cybertronian look to the jet anyway. So it's not like it's trying to be a specific car or jet. So I think I'm okay with it. And I got John Keep, but I didn't open him before I left. Didn't have time.
Actually, speaking of opening, people who follow me on Twitter, and I've talked about it here, have seen that I'm trying to go through my stuff. I created a pile of to open stuff. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a 5-tier shelf. The shelf dimensions like 40 inches by 18 or 24 inches, I think. 18 inches.
Mostly
24 inches.
Consisting of G.I. Joe Battle Android Troopers.
Yeah, it's mostly G.I. Joe. But like I'll probably be talking about some things that I haven't opened before as I go through that I find interesting. One thing I opened was that Sergeant Slaughter Action Force figure that Matt tricked me into buying. Out of package, I actually kind of like it. So it was a worthy purchase. It looks pretty.
I bought it too, so
yeah, it actually looks fine in hand. So But Don wanted to go next. So, Don.
Well, I will say, diecast. Ignore the Hulk hands; they're kind of stupid on Blitzwing.
Yeah.
But I think if once you get to robot mode, you'll see it may still not be the leader price point and value, since the add-on stuff is kind of dumb. But I think when you get to robot mode, you'll see how well he pulls off being a Blitzwing. So I think there's some definite value there. I got a very eclectic mix this week. Target marked down the Autobot Silver Streaks down to about $10. I went ahead and got a second one because mine is a little. It doesn't quite peg together in some places. I'm a little worried about breakage. I figured they were down to like 4, and I figured I better get one now before anything else goes wrong. And it's a nice figure. I wouldn't mind having us if I lose a missile or whatever the case may be. Went to go to the grocery store to get a country ham hock to make some pinto beans, and I ran to the Dollar General next door, found a second RC, one to open and one to keep on card. I
don't think you should open either of them, Don.
I think that's Authentics RC for people without the benefit.
Sorry, Authentics RC, yeah. I think she is one per case because the last time I was at the Dollar General, they had nothing on that hook, and now they had a full hook with one of each. So I think she's like a pack in a box of 6, and she's one of 6. So there's that. Last week I got it, but forgot to mention it. I got G2 Core Class Megatron.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Amazon. Also from Amazon, G-Axis, as I showed off earlier. Maybe not toy of the year, but definitely probably in my top 5 so far. Just for you look at G2 G-Axis, you thought there's no way this thing can physically exist, and yet it pulls off nearly every point that a G-Axis needs to look like. And yeah, that the hands underneath, but at least they got that swing where it's not up here close to the nose cone. It's at least towards the back, like it's a cargo section.
Yeah,
so that helps salvage that there. So really like G-Axis. I got Junk Heap. I have not had a chance to open him yet. Also from Amazon, I have not had a chance to open him. Galvatron, Studio Series Galvatron. Thought I would give him a try. Came super earlier than I was expecting to get him because I think
it was solicited for January.
Yeah, so it's like ta-da. And I ordered something last night that wasn't due until fourth quarter 2022, and it's being processed now at Entertainment Earth. So I hope that I'll have that by next week. The last 2 things I've got is to go on my Robots in Disguise 2005 Optimus Prime shelf. As you know, as you can see, maybe in the corner there with my Godfire Convoy and Black Convoy and all that stuff. Picked up off eBay the Universe version of the Spy Changer Ultra Magnus, the one in black instead of. I never had the Universe version. I've got the regular version in a box somewhere.
I've got that somewhere. I don't necessarily remember it much. I know I got it though.
Yeah, I think it was as more of a reference to the Sam's Club Magnus that used the black versus the blue legs. So that's my guess, but I got him. And the last thing I got was also Ultra Magnus, but I got a boxed Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus.
Nice. How much was that, Don? Out of curiosity.
Why?
$100.
That's about what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's one end has been opened, but everything is there. Everything is sealed.
It looks nice in the box, Matt, and that's the best way to enjoy it is in the box.
Yeah, especially since in the box you can't see that the tires are split.
But see, you probably can't tell, but beside of the yellow Optimus Prime on the second shelf there, I have a boxed red Optimus Prime signed by Neil Kaplan.
Well, mine's not signed by Neil Kaplan. I should ask him to sign it though.
Yeah, so that's going to go on that shelf. So I'm really happy. I had it on my watch list, and the buyer sent me an offer, which was about like almost $30 less than what he was asking. So I was like, and free shipping. So like, yes, I will buy that Ultra Magnus and I will put that on my shelf and I will be happy.
Yeah.
And
speaking
of
watch list, that's what I got this week. Speaking of watch list, I got something today I only see once every 6 months or so. Something I'm waiting to get is an Optimus Prime Soki, the like the soap bottle, shampoo bottle, whatever from the 80s. This
Oh,
one looks
wow.
great, and the price is right, except for it's split down the seam,
Oops.
which I didn't realize. I almost bought it. I'm like, oh no.
Uh,
So if anybody has one of those for sale at a reasonable price, let me know. Matt, did you get anything?
I got nothing.
Rob?
Yeah, I got a fair number of things actually. First off, man, where should I start? Okay, so this week I got some manga in I'd ordered like a while back and forgotten about. I got Devilman Volume 2.
I don't know
That's
what
what
that
made
is.
me think of Devilman Crybaby. It is a horror manga about the end of the world by the creator of Mazinger Z.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's basically what
So-
we're living.
The kind of, except worse. I mean, probably one of the only worse I can think of. It is how everything comes out in Devilman. So yeah, which is impressive in and of itself. But got that. It's not bad. It's just I'm glad to have the complete thing. They stuffed like a fairly long manga into 2 hardcover volumes, and volume 2 was out of print for a long time. So glad to have that. Got the 3rd volume of Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai. That's enjoyable, but I do see that we're going to have a lot of people coming back from the dead a lot of times to help the heroes. So I'm kind of wondering if that's going to get like Lord of the Rings old. So we'll see how that goes. In terms of other things for Prime Day, I did get Batman the Animated Series for $25 on Blu-ray, which also comes with Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero. There's no good reason not to get that if you have a Blu-ray player. Also Speed Racer, which is $12, so I grabbed that at the same time. And the one on topic thing that actually got here on time this week, I had 2 more that were supposed to show up, and I'll get them like tomorrow and Saturday. But just like Chris got the good sludge, I got the bad G-axis. And mine, the knees are really floppy. It can keep itself up, but the knees are very, very loose. The panels that let you turn the hands in don't really like to lock down.
Boo.
And he's bobbleheaded. So despite all that, it is still a fantastic toy, and I'm probably going to roll the dice again at some later date. If I see G-axis on sale, I'm going to try and get another one and hope I get better QC, because yeah, there's still enough I like about this toy that it is worth it to me to try and get one with fewer problems. I still don't understand why he comes with the Big Lots knockoff version of himself's gun as a bonus.
I
But
forgot to mention that.
yeah, damn it, that's not exactly what that is. But
See, my theory is that is his backup weapon,
mhm.
and he's just, enough of a 90s cliche that his smaller secondary weapon is just a, reduced scale copy of his main weapon.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that what it comes down to is that they had reference panels with the gun in 2 different sizes, so they went with both. But either way, like I said, great figure despite the problems. Going to try and get one without the problems, and I think that's basically everything important I got this week.
Cool. Hey, if you want to buy something on Prime Day and you haven't yet, you got like an hour left. tfradio.net/Amazon, just saying. But I want to thank our patrons at the Touch tier. You can sign up at patreon.com/tfradio. Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Jay Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Spider Bob, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Blake Reynolds, Vegemite Mike, Jason Tate, Eric Griffin, Cybertron Toys, Sean I. Williamson. Thank you all so much. If you want to become a patron at the Touch tier, go to patreon.com/tfradio. You can find all our crap at tfradio.net. Like, everything is there. Like podcasts going back to the 1990s. Who else has that? Nobody. That we know of. Somebody might, but most likely not. tfradio.net. You can find me on Twitter at bkilby, on Instagram at Brian Kilby. John DeLuna not here. He's at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer not here. He's at Rob Springer and at zonebase.org. Besides Ohio, Diecast, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. And you can also, my birthday is coming up next Friday, the 22nd. So you can check out my wish list at tfradio.net/diecast list if you want. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully I'll get some. I really wanted to do a video of G-Axis before I left, but I just ran out of time. Because man, that is such a nice figure. That's when I really like doing reviews, is when the figure is exciting, because I hate reviewing bad figures.
Yeah, nobody likes reviewing bad figures. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, no, sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, true. Cool. Don.
Well, I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. Also, as a reminder, I will be getting married in October to the most wonderful woman in the world. And we are going on a Carnival cruise. And if you go to tfradio.net/honeymoon, there are a few packages and things there that we have put up. If you're in a position to help and would like us to experience some of the things on the cruise that we normally couldn't swing, we would appreciate it. And we want to, as always, thank those who have got something off the list before, just to help us, enjoy a few more things on the honeymoon. We do appreciate it.
Cool. Rob?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Rob Flails. That is the Flailthroughs Twitter account. Flailthroughs being my YouTube channel, which I've been covering Gundam games for 10 years now, which is terrifying. And right now, still doing Gundam Battle Operation 2, because easiest to keep covering things in like 8-minute bites when you have a bad arm. So Gundam Battle Operation 2 just added the bound dock this week, which is huge and ridiculous, and it's a lot of fun. So there's a video up for that on my channel if you want to see what it's like. youtube.com/flailthroughs, and if you like what you see there, patreon.com/flailthroughs. You can give me money for it and make requests of me and things like that. And also, if you just want to send me a thing, tfradio.net/claylist goes to my Amazon wish list, where a little bit of the proceeds should go back to Brian.
Sweet. Chris?
Playwithphotography.com is where I keep all of my toy photography. So if you'd like to check that out, go over there. If you'd like to throw some support my way for the things that I do, or just generally help me out, patreon.com/playwithphotos. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist, and like Rob's, a little bit of that will go back to keep the show going for anything you buy out of just, random acts of kindness toward me.
Sweet. Okay. I guess that's it. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later, all.
Who knows where I'll be next week? I'm like, where in the
Recording
world
stopped.
is Carmen San Diego?
Take it, acapella.
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Actually, I didn't care for that show, but I did watch it like every afternoon. I think that was like when I was in. Please don't say I was an adult. When did that actually air?
No,
The
we
original
were teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay.
91 through 93-ish.
I think back, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I watched Pokemon. Like I was 13? I was 19. Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, I was about 17, 18 when Pokemon started.
So
That's now you know how I feel all the time.
Actually, I know exactly where I'll be on Wednesday next week. I will be in Boston.
okay, I was 18. No, I was almost 18. So you'll be in Boston. I love Boston. Boston's great.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, I put that in the chat. I didn't know if you wanted to cover it next week since it just dropped today, but it's
The hell is that?
Yeah, that's what it was when I looked at it.
Okay.
It's a $3,000 statue of Six Shot.
Oh, I'm
That's-
definitely getting that.
That's
That
What?
what you
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Apparently, you also get small little models of his other modes too so you get all 6 modes of a form. I just saw that. I saw that at $3,000, and I posted on Twitter. Wow, the rates for Ninja Consulting have gone through the roof.
Yeah, Mike and Peter hated this so bad that it froze up.
Oh wow.
It also looks like it comes with the top half of a dead Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
Optimus.
Well,
It
his
looks
life
like-
had to be sacrificed for peace on Earth.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
looks like that's like movie verse 6 shot the way it's looking to me. I thought you might
I don't
get
know. The design's busy, but it's too coherent for a movie design.
Cool. Hey, people watching live, we're going to end the stream. I need to go to bed. So we will see you next week. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye.